Good morning, students. Welcome to yet another video of Geography, Chapter 1, India Size and Location, Part 2. In the previous class, we learned about India's location and size. Today, we will discuss about India and the world and India's neighbors. With no further ado, let's start today's class. We will start with the first subtopic, explaining about India and the world. In this heading, we will discuss about why is India's location strategically important. Then we will discuss about what reached the world from India. India is a part of the South Asia. India is a land where we have the ancient civilizations in existence. The ancient civilizations flourished in our land. India has a longest coastline with Indian Ocean. India is very well connected with other continents, especially Europe and African continent. Since the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869, India's distance from Europe has been reduced by 7,000 kilometers. Our location is very strategic because all the ships that comes from Europe, when they have to travel to East Asia, they pass through Indian Ocean, and it helps us in establishing close contact with West Asia, Africa, and Europe. Again, no other country has a long coastline like India. So this is a very strategic position for us in terms of our geographical location in the world. India's contact with the world have continued through ages, and India's relationships through the land routes are older than the maritime contacts. So through the land route, there existed a very cordial relationships. The trade had continued for many centuries from the west to the east through the land route. 3rd century BC itself, Indian potteries being sold there and Indian spices being carried there. Oceans were very restricted and scary way of having an interaction with other country. So travelers often took the land route passing through the mountains in the north. For example, how Fahian came to India from China. He came to India through the land route. And even the Persian dealers also came to India through the land route. So India has always been in touch with the world from ages, and it is not something new. So all these ideas helps in exchanging ideas and commodity since ancient times. India has numerical historical ties. The ideas of the Upanishads, the Ramayana, the stories of Panchatantra, which are popular throughout the world. Then we have the numeral system, the decimal system, the concept of zero that India invented. All these were accepted globally. And India's spices and muslin was also famous throughout the world. Muslin means it is a lightweight cotton cloth. However, India also tried to incorporate ties with foreign countries, and we have sculptures from Greece and domes and minarets from West Asia, which were visible in India during the time. Minarets means it's a slender tower. Especially, it is typically a part of a mosque that is known as minarets. So the Greek sculpture and the architectural style of dome and minarets from West Asia can be seen in many parts of our country. So this is the result of the exchange of commodities and ideas and the movement of people. This reveals that India is very well connected to the West. This proves that there has been a positive relation between the West and the East. This is all about India's connection with the rest of the world. Next, towards the end of the same slide, we can see a question here. The difference between the duration of day and night is hardly felt at Kanyakumari, but not so in Kashmir. Now we will learn the reason. The difference between the duration of day and night is hardly felt at Kanyakumari. What is the reason for that? Why it is not felt in the same way in Kashmir? What are the reasons for that? Kanyakumari is close to the equator, whereas Kashmir is far from the equator. So this means that the Kanyakumari is at a lesser latitude as compared to Kashmir. And here we know it is specified that the latitude of Kanyakumari in degrees is 8° north latitude. That is the latitude of Kanyakumari. It means, what does it mean? It means that Kanyakumari is just 8 degrees from the equator. As equator receives direct sunlight, the duration between day and night would hardly be felt at Kanyakumari. On the other hand, Kashmir is 37° north latitude from the equator. It means Kashmir is 37 degrees away from the equator. So Kanyakumari is only 8° away from the equator, but Kashmir is 37 degrees away from the equator. It means that Kashmir is 37 degrees away from the area which receives direct sunlight. So there would be a big difference in the duration of day and night in Kashmir. The difference is about 5 hours in Kashmir. The next slide is explaining about India and neighbors. Now let's discuss about Indian states and union territories. India is located in the Asian continent. Within the country, we have 29 states and 7 union territories. Why do we have states and union territories? That's because as a country, if you want to manage the entire country as a whole, then it might be difficult. So that is why it has been divided into smaller regions which are separately controlled by a group of people, so that it is easier to manage the entire country as a whole. What is the difference between a state and a union territory? The main difference between a state and a union territory is a state is always under the control of state government, and union territories are under the control of central government. Now the question is, why do we need to have the union territories? Why can't we have only states? Which are the union territories that we have today? So we need to find the answer for all the 3 questions. Before that, we will locate all the union territories in the political map of India. So we will start locating the union territories of India. The union territories of India are Chandigarh. Chandigarh's location here, you can see here. Here is the location of Chandigarh. Chandigarh is a union territory. Then Delhi. Delhi is a union territory. Daman and Diu is a union territory. Dadra and Nagar Haveli is a union territory. Lakshadweep is a union territory. Pondicherry is a union territory. Then Andaman and Nicobar Islands is also a union territory. So these are the union territories. Then now let's move on to the, or else let's analyze the reasons why we have union territories, or else the above said places. Why Delhi is a union territory? Why Dadar and Nagar Haveli is a union territory? Why not a state? Why Pondicherry is a union territory? Why not it is a state? Let's analyze the reason. The first reason is the uniqueness. Something unique, so something unique about that region. Because of that, which we cannot club with some other state. In the among the union territories, there might be something unique about that particular place, so that we cannot club that particular place with other state. So that unique quality. For example, pondicherry pondicherry from the very beginning, it's a French colony. As a result, the people living in that area have a different lifestyle. Similarly, when we talk about Daman and Diu or Dadar and Nagar Haveli, they right from the beginning they have or else they were Portuguese colonies. So it is very difficult to combine these areas with the nearby states. So as a result, they were kept separated and they were kept directly under the control of the central government. Then sometimes what happens is certain regions are very far located. So that uniqueness is one reason why certain places, why we cannot club those areas with the states, that unique qualities. So that is the one reason that uniqueness is the reason why Pondicherry, Daman and Diu or Dadar and Nagar Haveli are union territories. Another reason is certain areas is very far. It is located very far. For example, here you can see Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So it is very far from India. Andaman and Nicobar Islands as well as the Lakshadweep Islands. Its location is far from India. Therefore, instead of considering them as a state, it is considered as a union territory and it have been kept under the control of central government. Then, not only this, another reason, that is, if any disputes, if there is any dispute arise in any particular state, for example, Chandigarh. Chandigarh is a union territory. Why? The reason is there was a fight between Punjab and Haryana because both these states need Chandigarh. Punjab also needs Chandigarh and Haryana also needs Chandigarh. So there was a dispute between Punjab and Haryana related to the place, related to the region Chandigarh. As a result, to solve the dispute, the central government declared Chandigarh as a union territory. Now, it also happens sometimes a region which is a union territory now can become a state later. One such example is Goa. Goa initially was a union territory. Now Goa is a state. So if you look at Goa, Goa was earlier a union territory because it was very small in size. Sometimes that also matters. If the region is too small to declare as a state, it is often declared as a union territory. Later, the local bodies in Goa convinced the central government to give it the recognition of a state, however, with the limited power, and that's how Goa became a state from a union territory. So in Goa's case, what we learned is initially Goa was a union territory because it's a very small region. But currently, it is not a union territory. It is declared as a state. Now, I hope you all understand that what are union territories and why do we have that? India shares her land boundaries with Pakistan and Afghanistan in the northwest, and with China, Nepal, and Bhutan in the north, and Bangladesh and Myanmar in the east, and towards the south, our southern neighbors across the sea consist of two island countries, namely Sri Lanka and Maldives. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by the Park Strait and the Gulf of Mannar, while Maldives Islands are situated to the south of the Lakshadweep Islands. Here you can see this is the Park Strait. Park Strait means it is a channel between India and Sri Lanka. And Gulf of Mannar, this area is the Gulf of Mannar. Gulf of Mannar means it's a large shallow bay in Indian Ocean. That is Gulf of Mannar. So India had a strong geographical and historical links with her neighbors. Like India stands apart from the rest of Asia because India has all major ethnic groups found in the Indian subcontinent. And some of the ethnic groups found in India are the African ethnicity, Chinese ethnicity, Iranians, Dravidians, Jews, then Indo-Asians, Indo-Aryans, French ethnicity, Indo-Greek, and so on. That makes India totally a different country from other countries. The next slide is explaining about Indira Point. So this is the picture of Indira Point. Hope we all are aware of what is Indira Point. Indira Point is the southernmost point of Indian territory. Indira Point was a village in Nicobar Island. And the Indira Point got submerged in the sea during the tsunami of December 26, 2004. So by this, we concluded today's class as well as Geography Chapter 1, India, Size and Location. Now let's have a quick recap of today's class. Today, we learned about India and the world and India's neighbors. First, under the heading India and the world, we learned that the Indian landmass has a central location between the East and West Asia. India is a southward extension of the Asian continent. The Trans-Indian Ocean route connects the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia. No other country has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean as India has. India's contact with the world have continued through the ages. The spices, the muslin, and other merchandise were taken from India to different countries. On the other hand, the influence of Greek sculpture and the architectural styles of domes and minarets from West Asia can be seen in different parts of India. Then finally, we learned about India's neighboring countries. India has 29 states and 7 union territories. And finally, we learned that India shares its land boundaries with Pakistan and Afghanistan in the northwest, China, Nepal, and Bhutan in the north, Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east, and the southern neighbors across the sea consist of the two island countries, Sri Lanka and Maldives. So India had a strong geographical and historical link with her neighbors. So now we concluded the chapter India, Size and Location. If you have any doubts related to the chapter, you can mail to dmcsonlinequeries@gmail.com. Thank you, students. Have a good day ahead.